Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich. It's me, Vinod. Happy Saturday. I hope you're doing great. By the time you're watching this video, me and Anand would have done our event in Lady Andal, and it was nice meeting some of you there. I know I'm recording this ahead, but I do want to say thanks for coming and attending the event and taking the time from your busy lives to come and spend some time with us. It was wonderful having all of you there, and I'm sure we would have had an interesting discussion and an interesting Q&A with Anand. Hopefully, most of your questions were answered. If you didn't get an opportunity to ask us or meet us, do put it in the comments down below. Whatever questions and doubts you may have, I will try and clarify them as I get into doing Q&A later on during the week when I'm alone in the studio. But coming back to the topic of discussion now, I want to talk to Anand about Fed and what is happening with the Fed. And there are some interesting cues that are coming from what is happening in the market. And I wanted Anand to explain this to us so we may understand this better.
There's a calendar of events happening. And the idea is which is more important. First, you have Jerome Powell and Trump slanging each other. And Trump wants to get control of the Fed before May and have majority of the governors on his side so he can dictate monetary policy. He wants a big rate cut.
Correct.
Jerome Powell wants to hold on to this position because he thinks inflation is coming. And inflation is gently moving up. So, what the latest missile was fired by Trump was there's a lady called Cook who is basically an African American board member, and the Trump's mortgage department has accused her of manipulating the mortgage rules and taking preferential mortgages in two cities, whereas the rules allow you to take only one. So he has called for her to resign so that he can put somebody on his position. She has flatly refused and said, a tweet cannot push me out.
Correct.
And so Scott Bessent has been telling Jerome Powell, you at least cut zero point 0.5 in September and do things. But the majority of the Federal Reserve now says, if we are asked to make a decision tomorrow, we will not cut rates. So even if things dramatically decline, they'll cut by 0.25 only in September, which is not enough to make a big change. So annually, the Federal Reserve Chief gets to speak at Jackson Hole, where economists from all over the world get together. And Rajan made a very famous speech called Connecting the Dots and predicted the 2008 crisis.
Correct.
Now, all the other people are very sympathetic to Jerome Powell. But this is Jerome Powell's last Jackson Hole meeting
Correct.
because Trump has already told us he's going to fire him next time.
Yes.
So, what he says will not drive the market in the long term. That's what this quote says. It is more important that you have to see Nvidia's results that come next week, because if Nvidia is now 8.5% of S&P 500, this one company is 8.5% of the top 500 companies because its valuations are so stretched. If Nvidia beats the so-called estimates, then Nvidia shoots up. Then they end up by 8%. Then you are going to have a 4% rally in the S&P 500 because it's the stock that's primarily pulling the S&P 500. If the earnings disappoint, there will be a big crash in Nvidia's price and you will have a stock market crash. This is a classic case where you are having a narrow top. A narrow top happens when a few companies control the fate of the index.
Correct.
So they are so overvalued, a small prick in the bubble. If the prices collapse 30-40%, you will have the index collapse at least 20%. So this is the Magnificent Seven and the RTA boom, which is driving this market up. So if the Nvidia itself, which is the main driver of hardware for the calculator for pushing this AI, if its results are sucks, then you are going to have, clearly that the economy is doing very badly and the market will also crack. The debate now is whether the Fed speech is more important or Nvidia's earnings more important? Even though for an economy as a whole, and for most people in the world, the direction of the Fed's interest rate is very important and will affect their day-to-day life. The Fed decides to keep the rate as it is or increase it by 0.25, which it will not, which means the dollar will strengthen.
Correct.
The dollar has lost a lot of ground towards the beginning of this year. So the dollar will gain something. But if the results are very bad, then the stock price itself will begin to correct, which will in turn make sure that whatever wealth effect people are feeling and therefore spending money, they will cut back and this could go to a recession. This is all based from result of one company which is representing the face of AI today, that is Nvidia. So, though the economy is more important to most people, it's the results of one company which is driving the AI boom, which will push the future discourse of this market.
Okay. So, taking all what you said into consideration, the American inflation is one aspect of it. The other aspect, of course, which is the mandate of the Fed, is the labor market. And the labor market data showing has slowed.
Yeah, but if prices go up and there is inflation comes and the money supply doesn't increase, you have a what is known as stagflation. Falling economic growth with higher interest rates means inflation means stagflation. And the cue for stagflation means more higher interest rates.
In 2020,
Mm,
Fed adopted the flexible average inflation target, fiat,
mm,
allowing the inflation to run above 2% if unemployment is high.
yeah,
So many economists expect a rollback of fiat and restoring it to a more preemptive stance on inflation. What is your view on this?
but I don't know whether the Fed can influence the labor market. I
Okay.
know it has a dual mandate. And the Americans expect them to wave the American wand and expect the result will come. I don't think so.
Yeah, because as we are recording, the Indian market is also right now, Sensex is minus more than 600 and the Nifty is almost minus 200.
Yeah,
And the same way, the effects of the Fed is also being felt here.
definitely it will be felt. It's not even beginning to be felt. It will be felt and will hurt us badly. It will hurt IT companies even more worse. And see, when the mother market catches cold, you will catch pneumonia.
Okay. So that's where it stands. And we have not heard the Fed speeches yet, as you realize. We had recorded this earlier in the day. So I'm sure by the time you're watching it, the Fed speech and all what Powell said would be out there in public space. Anand will, of course, be listening to it and reading it. And he'll offer his insight again, value again on Monday when we meet again. And we'll offer his insights again once we have actually had the speech at hand. Thanks for watching Bearish today. We wish you a wonderful weekend. Like I said in the onset, it was nice meeting some of you and all of you at Lady Andal School where we had our event this evening. Nothing else much more to say. See you again tomorrow with another one. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Be rich.